apply that. Get it, don't be timid when you in it, apply that.
Hey YouTube, it's Trina the Trendsetter here, coming to you live with the Conversing Corner video. So today me and my husband are going to interview each other, and we're just going to ask a couple of questions that I had set up for some friends, but COVID came and we couldn't have them over. So the responses and the opinions on this channel are just me and my husband. All right, this is my husband Jeffrey. So
Right.
we just gonna be talking on my segment of the Conversing Corner. Okay, so first question: what do you look for when you look for a relationship? Before we were dating, what were you looking for?
Honest opinion.
Honest opinion. Say on here is whatever. Say whatever you feel. For real, for real.
First of all, I'd be looking for the breast. No, I'm just kidding.
And I'm so glad, because little booties matter. I don't have a booty, so little booties matter. So that, you know.
Basically, you're looking for somebody that you are attracted to, somebody that you see yourself actually being with for the long haul. So a lot of times when you see this lady, you thinking to yourself, "Is this the one?" Or it's gonna be something that we just gonna have some fun or whatever. So you really don't make up your mind until actually you get to converse with her and talk to her and take her out on a couple of dates. Then you realize if that's the one or not. But basically on the starting point, you pretty much looking to see if this could be the one for you.
Good
That's
answer.
my opinion.
Good answer. For me, he liked the breast, I like the chest. So we kind of compatible on that thing there, because yeah, that's what I be looking for. No, but on a serious tip, I look for somebody that is easy to talk to, because I like to talk. I'm a very talkative person. So if you quiet and I'm talking and you ain't got nothing to say, that's how he was when we first met, but he got a few cups of Gentleman Jack and then it was all over. After that he started talking. But that's how it started out for me. But I look for somebody who is willing to listen whenever I'm trying to talk about something, because a lot of people, they don't want to have conversations, and communication is the key to any relationship. If you can't talk to your partner, your relationship is not going to work out. And when I tell you, me and him talk about everything, we talk about everything. Some stuff your spouse just ain't supposed to know.
Yeah, a lot of people can't believe some of the stuff that we talk about.
Yeah, even if I see somebody and they attractive, I'll be like, "Ooh, babe, she pretty, look at her." And people don't understand it. They were like, "Oh, she crazy."
Yeah.
But yeah, I point him out. He gonna look at him anyway, so I might as well shout him out so he can see. Let's see what the next question is. So this is pretty much the same thing as like what you was looking for in a mate when you were searching for a relationship. Cause see, I got a lot of people, a lot of friends that want to be in relationships, but they just can't seem to get it together. I mean, and good people. So I mean, I don't understand. I'm so glad that I'm not out in this dating world, because I don't think I have what it takes to date, because I'm too demanding in certain things. So I demand a lot from Scorpio.
That's where the part that she said about communication coming in. And you got to be able to talk to the person, and she got to be able to listen, or he got to be able to listen. So pretty much that question reflects on the question before. So communication is probably the best answer to that.
Oh, absolutely. And okay, next question. What was your first impression of your partner? So that would be me. What was your first impression when you met me?
I was gonna marry that girl.
How do you know you was gonna marry me? You didn't know me from Adam or Eve.
I don't know. I just said that, and I don't know if I was kidding or not when I said it, but I said it. And 24 years, we've been married for 20 years now. So, but that was my first impression. She gonna be my wife.
And true story, y'all, I met him when I was working on a job, and he really told his cousin that I was gonna be his wife. And that's funny, because I was like in a relationship with somebody else when I met him, and I was like, I'm not interested. So he pursued me anyway, and he would not let up. And I was like, man, I might as well go ahead because he ain't gonna give up. And what's funny is that we went out with a group of our friends, and they were all in relationships, but we was like the only two that wasn't in a relationship with anybody. So we was stuck together. So the whole night, me and him was stuck together, and it was like we actually had fun. And I was like, I wasn't expecting to, because I went with a closed mind, because I was like, I'm just gonna go because y'all making me. Because all of us worked at the same company, so they were all, everybody was dating, so it was like 6 or 7 couples, and we just ended up thrown together. But it's crazy because we did a lot of outings with those people a lot of times, and we were always stuck together. But after a while, we started doing stuff without them, and it was like we didn't even notice that we started doing stuff without them. I was like, oh, we kicking it, or we kicking it. So that was interesting. What do you like about me?
I like the way that you understand me, the way that you protect me when somebody says something, or maybe something that's being said that's towards me, you will come to my aid. I also like the way that you love me as a man, as a, just letting me be the man and not always wanting to step in front, but sometimes you'll step back and let me be the man, sometimes right or wrong, I like your strong sense of humor. You can make a bright day just by a smile or that loud ass laugh you got.
But yeah, I think what I like most about him is when I met him, I had 2 children already, and I wasn't really looking for a relationship because I had just separated with their dad, and I was like, I ain't sure I really want to be with nobody because we kind of had a little rocky relationship, so I was not very trusting of anybody. But I would have to say that what I love about him is he didn't judge my situation, and he helped me raise my 2 kids. And I was like, nobody in our age range would have done all the stuff that he has done for me and my kids as a boyfriend, let alone as a friend, period. And I was like, because when we first met, we were just friends. So as a friend, period, I would say I never had anybody to do the things for me that he has done. And not to say it's not materialistic things, because when we first started dating, we would do things like go sit in the park and have lunch. I had never done it with anybody else. Most of the time, if we go on a date, or it'll be somewhere, or either they'll come over at night and watch TV with me and consider that a date. So when I was younger, I'm heavy now, but I was super big girl. I'm still a big girl, but I was a really big girl. And dudes said, oh, she got a pretty face. So I was that chick with the pretty face. So they would only want to be with me when no one else was around. And it was kind of crazy because it was like some of these I really liked, but they didn't like me because of who I was, and they didn't want their friends to tease them. So I kind of understood, and I kind of fell back. But my mama would tell me, you too pretty to be playing second fiddle. You don't got to be nobody's second choice. But in my mind, I'm fat, who gonna want me? I got to be a second choice. And he just made me realize that I ain't got to be second. And he put me first. He still put me first. That wasn't even something that I was looking for, because we was just friends. So I was like, dang, this is crazy. This man really liked me. He doing stuff that he don't even gotta do. I thought that was real manly of him. It's just hard to find somebody that you could really be with and trust. Okay, next question. Are you okay with the level of intimacy that we share? Got to give your honest answer. No judge. No, this is the no judgment zone, alcohol included.
I level intimacy is
more than physical. I would say it goes way beyond physical.
We do a lot of stuff that consists of just, like you say, basic conversation, waking up in the middle of the night, talking about stuff. So I would say that it's great. It's good. It's very good. And you know, it's being open. Sometimes we tell each other stuff that we that most people don't talk about. I mean, if you're looking at us now, and you'll see that our relationship and our communication is different. We on a different level. Our understanding of each other is different. I know when to leave her alone, when to let her just be by herself, or I know when to walk up and, you know, say something to make her smile or whatever.
Vice versa with him. I think the same thing. I think we've been together so long that I can sense when he angry, and I can sense when he not feeling good. It's just expressions that he have on his face. I can read them, I guess, because we done been together so long. I just know when he ain't feeling good. I just know when he don't want to be bothered or he done had a bad day. It's just weird that I guess this at ESP, I pick up on things that, and he be like, how you know? I just know. There ain't nothing about it. I would say I'm okay with our level of intimacy, but I just wish it was more time. Like, we don't get it. We're on opposite shifts with our jobs, so we don't get to spend a lot of one-on-one time. So our weekend today is like real important to us. We've been together for 24 years, and every year on Valentine's Day weekend, we spend the entire weekend just me and him, nobody else. And we've been doing it for 24 years. 23 years, because out of the 24 years, it was 1 year that we couldn't afford to come. I had gotten sick and lost my job, and he was the only one working, and we just couldn't figure out a way to make it work. And it seemed like that was the most miserable year of our life.
It's a bad year.
It was a bad year, but ever since then we made a vow that no matter what's going on, how much money we got or how much money we don't have, we're gonna take a vacation with just me and him, and then a vacation with us and our kids. And now we are superseding that. We are taking 2 vacations with me and him and 1 with the kids. So we done started from the bottom. Now we here.
It up just a little bit.
So yeah, that was a big thing. So ever since we had that bad time, we make sure we come regardless of how broke we are, regardless of what we got going on at the house, because this is our outlet. This is how we release all our stress.
For the whole year.
For the whole
year.
year.
Thinking that now how can we make this year be better than the year just left out? So a lot of times this is where it starts. All the stress that we had coming off the other year, not trying to take it into the new year. So it's just something that we just do, and I think that it works for us. I don't know about nobody else, but it works for us. It relieves a lot of the stress.
Okay, this is the next question. Would you compromise your happiness for me?
Of course, I do it all the time.
Why though? Because I got an issue with that.
I know the saying, happy wife, happy life. So
And I guess that's
the
a
best
true.
thing to do is to keep you happy, then you're going to make me happy.
I guess that's true, but you can also be miserable trying to make me happy, and I would never want you to be miserable trying to please me, because sometimes what I may want may be something that I really don't need, and 95% of the time it is, but
it ain't about what you want. It ain't about that. It's just about being able to make you happy as a man. You know what I'm saying? If I don't put in the effort to make you happy, somebody else will. So it's my job to keep you happy, not just buying you stuff or doing stuff like that or whatever. It's just making sure that you happy, you know, not just on the outside but in the inside.
I know, but you're not supposed to compromise what you need in order for me to have.
I'll be like that. You be like that too. You compromise.
I guess I'm a lopsided lover, because I just feel like he shouldn't do that.
Yeah,
But if that's what you feel in your heart,
it's just. I don't know. As a man, that's what you're supposed to do. I'm the head, you the neck.
My mama always said this, that the head can't turn without the neck, and that's a real true statement. But what I will say for people that is in a relationship just starting out, always put God first in whatever you're trying to do, because otherwise it may not succeed, because He is the head of our lives. So if we making moves without Him, sometimes they just gonna fall apart. And I also think that if you are trying to be in a relationship, you got to keep people out of your business. Because if you tell everybody everything that's going on with you, you may have fallen out with your spouse. You go tell your cousin gonna be mad at your spouse. You be done forgave your spouse, and they still holding that grudge because they love you. And that's just what family do for each other.
And a lot of people make mistakes by basing their relationship off of somebody else's relationship. You always thinking that the relationship is so good on this side, but the saying is the grass is always green on the other side, but you don't know exactly what's going on in that house or that home. So a lot of times when you're dealing with your relationship, you got to put your effort into making your relationship, it's whatever it is, because you might, in the end, you might find out that you don't want to be like the Joneses or whatever.
And that's so true, because everything ain't always what it look like. Because sometimes it could that everything can look rosy, and then you look in the window and it's like, oh my God, I didn't know they was going through all that. But yeah, so you can't ever judge your situation based on someone else's. But I'm a firm believer that you have to put effort in, because marriage ain't gonna work if you don't put effort in, because everything ain't always gonna be good. Like, people on the outside only see happy times. They don't see all the struggle that we done went through. Like, we done been through a lot, and people don't realize it, and they just only see what they see when we out, but they don't see what we went through as a couple, what we went through as a family, loss. And like, we done had house under foreclosure, we done lost a whole lot of things, we done lost people that we weren't prepared to lose, and that puts a toll on your relationship. Just like 2 weeks after we got married, my brother passed away, and I was like, I'm a newlywed, we just now getting back off our honeymoon to this news. So that was like a real hard thing to carry, and just to have him was good, to, because not everybody, because we, at the time I was 24 years old, that's really young, and 24-year-olds don't have that type of understanding of, like, yeah, somebody just passed, you mourning. They don't understand that, yeah, you might be being mean, but that's one of the stages of grief. You going through something that you don't understand, and you don't know how to control it. So, and then that was like a real heavy thing, to be married only 2 weeks and just go through that funk. I went through a state of depression after that, and I just couldn't get myself together. But a lot of people feel like depression is something that you could just shake off and move on, because they was like, oh, you got to be strong, you got to be better than that. But it's uncontrollable. I tried my hardest to do it by myself, without no medication, without no therapy, without no nothing, and I just couldn't shake it. And I need for you to check on your family members that you think is strong, because the strong ones, sometimes they going through things they just ain't gonna tell you about. So it had gotten bad for me to where I didn't want to be here anymore. But you have to think too, it's other people depending on you besides yourself. So I felt like if that had taken place, I would have been being selfish, because I was only concerned about me and how I felt and how I didn't want to be here. But it was people who needed me. I had 2-3 little girls that needed me, and it was one day wouldn't leave me alone. So I feel like if that baby had left me alone long enough for me to do what I wanted to do, so I wouldn't be here, I wouldn't be here. But she wouldn't leave me alone, and to this day, she 24 years old. She follow me everywhere I go to this day. It's crazy. But let's go.
Just remember one thing: live, laugh, and be happy.
And love. He forgot love. Love is the most important thing of all. Be kind to one another. Be kind to strangers, because sometimes, yeah, you might see a stranger and they got an attitude, but you don't know what that person going through. Sometimes a little simple, hey, hello, how you doing, might be something that might be the one thing that person need just to get through the day. Okay, so here's a question that would pertain to, I guess it would be already answered. So because this interview that I'm doing, I was going to do for family and friends, but since it's just me and him and COVID came about, we're going to do it for us. So the next question, would you date a person with kids? So we already know the answer to that. He had kids, I had kids as well, so we already know the answer to that. So I guess we'll rephrase it and be like, if we were to ever separate, would you date somebody with small kids?
Of course. I mean, that don't bother me. I've always been the father figure type since I was young. I was always that old soul, so I was always taking care of my brothers and my cousins and all of them, even though I'm not much older than them, but I always been that type of person. So it really wouldn't bother me to take on somebody with kids, because I think I've been doing it all my life, so I can relate to that.
And see, with me, we always opposite. No matter what he said, I would say the opposite. He always say, but that's not necessarily how I be looking at it. But for me, I think if me and him were to separate, I don't think I would date someone with small kids, because I don't like the baby mama drama. And the thing with us, we never had the baby mama drama and beef. But I see some of my friends and some of the things that they going through with these mamas. They can't discipline the children. They can't say nothing to them. I'm like, how we going to be in a relationship and these kids over here being disrespectful and rude and I can't say nothing to them? Now, I probably wouldn't spank them because I don't agree with that either. But I would tell them, hey, you out of line, because that's how I was raised. I was raised by old people. So when you get disrespectful and mouthy, somebody's supposed to put you in your place, and then they be like mad at you because you said something to correct the child that's in the wrong.
But that comes back to the people that's in the relationship. You can't let the baby mom and the baby daddy control what's going on in your house. They don't got no say so or nothing in your house. So when them kids over your house, then you got a right to do discipline the way you want to discipline. But I say this right here too. If it comes to that, the way they say, well, you can't have my kids because your boyfriend or girlfriend told him to sit down or to be quiet, then that's just being childish.
It is. A lot of people, they don't want you to say nothing to their kids, and the kids be way out of line and just unruly and disrespectful. Okay, what is the one thing that you refuse to tolerate in a relationship?
Disrespect. I don't tolerate disrespect at all. I'm going to give you respect. I want you to respect me. And I think that's the main thing that kills a lot of relationships. And it falls back on where disrespect is in the form of like cheating or doing a lot of, I don't care about flirting and talking to people, but it's a respect level to everything.
Yeah. For me, it's abuse of any kind. Verbal, emotional, physical. That's the deal breaker for me. That's the one thing that I won't tolerate. I mean, I don't like nobody cheating, but that ain't gonna be my deal breaker. I don't like nobody being disrespectful or none of that stuff. They ain't gonna be my deal breaker. But any type of abuse is one thing that I refuse to tolerate, because that's something that I put up with when I was younger, and I was like, I prayed to God that if he delivered me from everything that I was going through, that I would never go back. So that's the one thing that I never revert back to. Next question. Are you friends with any of your exes?
Yeah, I wouldn't say friends, but I talk to them, but I really don't like we hang out or do stuff together or nothing like that, but we have a casual conversation, but not friends.
And I would say the same thing. I think we get along better after relationships because we just wasn't meant for each other. And sometimes it takes a breakup or a separation for you to realize that person was not somebody who you was meant to be with. Yeah, you had fun while you was together, but it wasn't nobody that you was meant to be with long terms, but we friends and we get along fine. Much better than we did when we was in a relationship.
But when you're younger and looking at relationships, and then as you grow, you kind of grow out of the relationships. Some of us do, some of us don't. Some people been together since they was babies in the sandbox. But
and that's for you and your ex, yeah. Well, I guess both of us, well, my ex too. We both had them sandbox type deals.
Yeah,
yours was a little bit longer, but
we grew different paths. We didn't want the same thing as we got older. When we was in 10 and 11 years old, but as we got to 18, 19, and 20, it's different, you know.
I think for me, I was a little too boring for mine. What about you? And he wanted excitement, and I wasn't that exciting. I was kind of square to myself. I didn't do too much.
I was more serious. That my thing was that I was more serious. I wanted to be married, to have a nice house, the cars, you know, that type of life. And she wasn't ready for that type of life. She wanted to go out, have fun, and do all that type of stuff. So that's what I think what happened.
Same here. See how we was compatible? Because we was looking for the same thing and didn't even realize it. Because I was ready. Because I had a kid, so I felt like I didn't want a broken family because I didn't come from a broken family. My parents were married for 60 years. And I just didn't want my kids to be without their daddy. But, oh well. They still had him. He just didn't live with us, and that's okay. Do you remember the first thing you ever said to your partner?
Yeah, I told her to go home and tell her man she found a better man.
And that was just too funny to me. He really told me that. He really said that. And I was like, oh my God. Who's this dude and somebody come and get him? Was what I was thinking in my head.
Playing me to my face.
I did. I was like, man, this dude, every time I would actually go the long way to the bathroom just so I wouldn't go beside where his workstation was, so he wouldn't say nothing to me. But you know what? He'll look around and realize I went to the bathroom and come back there and be like, hey girl, what you doing? It's like, what the hell?
Let me walk you back to your job.
And stand there for like 45 minutes like that machine wasn't running in the back. Yeah, but good times.
She told me her answer was, I don't date nobody I work with.
And he made me eat my words, but it took a long time because I really meant that, because I had seen like some of the, like I said, we worked together, and a lot of people that we work with were couples, and I seen all the turmoil that was going on with them. I was like, ain't no way I'm finna do this too, because this is crazy. I used to like to go to work, because going to work every day, it was just like Young and the Restless, all my children. It was something going down in that building every day in one of the relationships. Like somebody will come in, they be cheating, baby mama's coming through, you didn't call me last night. We even had one girl that turned over a whole pallet full of books because she was mad at a dude. And I was like, oh, this is just too much. But anyway, I was like, I'm not going to be a part of this. But he was like, yes, you are.
And the crazy part is that I said, well, I quit this job. I don't need this job anyway. Then I end up getting laid off. And then we end up getting together. So I guess it worked out.
Yeah, it's crazy. But then another thing that's funny about the situation with the couples at work, all of us had babies like a week apart the same year. It was crazy. It was real crazy. And we all had one big baby shower at work. All of us and all of the couple friends that we had that had babies, all of our babies were like born within the same week of the same year.
Like 5 of y'all.
Yeah. And that was real crazy. So we got, what you call them, hood cousins, born on the same day, born on the same, all of them born in the same week on the same year. Well, they less than a week apart, all of them. If you could change anything about our relationship, what would it be?
The way we argue over petty stuff. If I say it's blue, she gonna say it's black.
And I have to say that comes from my parents.
And people won't believe how we argue over the smallest things. We be in the conversation laughing, and the next thing you know, we be arguing. And that's the hardest part about our relationship, that it really don't affect our relationship because we pretty much, know what to expect from it. But most of the time, though, you come in, you got your mind set on that you're gonna do this and you're gonna have a good time, and then the next thing you know, you're arguing about a pencil or a pen or something like that. But people wouldn't believe the little petty arguments that we have.
That's terrible. But that's all the questions that I had. Did you have any that you wanted to ask?
But you didn't answer the question.
How you gonna put me on the spot like that? Okay, let's see. Yes, I would say that I would change that. You don't spend enough time together. Like, I feel like you put all the other stuff before me. Like, if I'm off on a Saturday, you'll go do your thing instead of hanging out with me.
I'm a 49er Clemson fan.
I'm okay with that, but sometimes you gotta put me first. But don't do like, what's his name? What's the guy's name that put that woman first?
Damn, I forgot his name too. Damn.
Why that man's name won't come to me? Is it Jaleel? Jaheim. Don't be like Jaheim, because he put that woman first and he ain't been the same since. But at least put that woman first sometime. Like, I feel like everything is ahead of me as far as football, hanging with the fellas.
But when I do stay at home, she don't be at home. She got something to do.
Yeah, but it's like, if we ever do anything, I have to plan it. You don't ever just spontaneously, come on, put some clothes on, let's go. I want some spontaneity.
I ain't never that type of guy.
Hey, but it ain't too late to change. It ain't too late to change.
Intimate type of guy. I don't do all that touchy-feely stuff.
It don't gotta be touchy-feely. Put some clothes on. We can go down to the Steak and Shake. Cook out.
We don't want to go to no Steak and Shake. You don't even like that fries.
I don't. Take me to the Pump House. Take me to Steak 48. Take me to
tell the truth.
Right. Take me to Roof Crest. Carrabba's.
We can go all those places,
but I have to plan it. But he's a lopsided lover. Everything that goes on, it has to be planned by me, done by me, set up by me, funded by me. No, I'm lying, he funded. But yeah, but sometimes just surprise me. Come with, see, it's different now, because I'm gonna tell you, like, when we first started dating, he'll just come and pick me up from work and we'll ride out. We'll go to a nice restaurant and eat out the blue. Or we'll get up on a Saturday morning and he'll be like, put some clothes on. We're going such and such. We'll go to the mall. We'll go shopping. We'll go hang out, have some drinks. Now I get up on a Saturday, me and that damn dog on the couch. If he was off, it'd be me and the dog on the couch.
No, you leave me first.
I go to my sister's house because I get tired of sitting on the couch by myself, me and the dog. So I was like,
that's who got all the time, y'all. She love her dog more than she love
okay, me. I love my dog, but she all I got. When you over there with them boys, it's just me and the dog.
When she come in the house, I be at home from work. I cook her dinner, have her dinner ready. You know, she comes in the house and goes straight upstairs and get that dog. Then she'll come down and say, "Hey, how you doing?" Because
he won't let her out. He don't like my dog, y'all. He don't like my dog. And she know he don't like him, so she be like, Dad don't like me, so he won't even let me out. So I go let her out when I get home, and then I go check on him.
But I can't let her out because I just be coming in, then I be cooking dinner, so I don't go upstairs to get the dog.
I let her out when I cook dinner.
Yeah, you always.
She stand right with me while I'm cooking.
I can't watch the dog.
I don't have to watch her.
Yeah, you do.
She a good baby dog.
That dog is.
Nah, my baby dog wild.
She always got something in her mouth.
She worse than a
kid.
Then
she run, you chase, you open the door, she'll run out and run away. You can't catch her.
Yeah, the people in my neighborhood, they be laughing at me because they be like, Nina's out again. It's like, cause yeah, I'm out there, me a little fat woman running behind this dog, and she think it's a game. She think we playing. It's like, Nina, I'm too fat for this. We are not playing. But I thank you guys for listening. So like, subscribe, and share this with a friend. And if you have any content you think that we should do, so just leave a comment down below. And this is Trina the Trendsetter, and we're signing off.
I'm my husband, Joe.